born rich and some marry into money, but in the 90s, more and more women will earn it themselves. Yes, I'm glad about that. Women today wield all kinds of clout. Even stars like Cher, Madonna, Jane Fonda are in the power seat of their multi-million-dollar companies. My guests today are not only rich and respected, they are smart and savvy. Our first power woman has sold 100 million books, and her bestsellers have just blown the lid off of Hollywood life, taking us inside Beverly Hills bedrooms, exposing the secrets of the rich and famous. And now she's written a 6-hour television miniseries of her hit books, Lucky and Chances, and is serving as executive producer to make sure it's just like her books, steamy and sizzling hot.
Bring the champagne. I'm gonna make you very, very thirsty.
Yes! One of the main characters of the miniseries is feisty female heroine Lucky Santangelo, who lives on in Jackie Collins' latest book. It's called Lady Boss. I like that title a lot. Please welcome Jackie Collins. I'm excited about Lady Boss because I know you're one and I'm one, and I thought you wrote the book for me, really.
Well, I did. I should have dedicated it to you, but I wanted to write a book that really said something about women, you know? Because I'm always writing books. I've written 13 books, and I thought, this one's going to really say something special about women because we need all the support we can get.
And what did you want to say? That what we see, that women are in control?
Well, basically, Lucky Santangelo goes into a Hollywood movie studio, and she goes in disguise. Disguised as a dowdy secretary, and so everybody kind of ignores her and just kind of she's there watching what goes on, and then she takes over the studio. But what she sees while she's there is a great deal of sexism that goes on in Hollywood. She sees all these producers that are just using women, the way they talk about women, the way they talk about actresses, and she kind of says...
So if Lucky sees that, then you've seen that too.
Oh, I've seen it. Yes. Oh, have I seen it, Oprah? I mean, I went into a studio and I sat in a friend's office for a while, and I watched these people come and go, you know, the producers, real important guys in Hollywood, and they do treat women so badly. And I thought, this has got to change. So Lucky Santangelo was the perfect tool to use as somebody who goes into the studio system and says, hey, I'm going to change this, guys. You know, she sees these two producers, the sleazy singles.
Well, what I like about her, she says all the things I would like to be able to say.
Right.
Yes.
And she gets away with it, ladies.
She gets away with it.
We would all like to do that, wouldn't we?
Page after page,
Yes. And when she takes over Panther Studios, you know, she kind of says to, there's a guy there called Johnny Romano, who's a big movie star. I mean, he never has sex unless he says, I used 2 condoms and a prayer to God. And he's one of those movie stars that's made it real big. And he's made it so big that nobody will tell him he's doing the wrong thing. So he does a movie. He makes a movie called Hollywood Dick, and then he makes a movie called Hollywood Dick 2, and then he makes a movie called Mother Faker. And nobody will tell him that his movies are not, you know, what families want to go and see. And so she tells him. I mean, she said, and he says, but, you know, he's like the emperor with no clothes. Nobody's ever told him. There's a lot of megastars in Hollywood, and you know who I'm talking about, who nobody can tell anything to.
Absolutely.
And she does. Lucky does it.
When you were executive producing Lucky Chances, did you find some of the sexism too? Did you find it?
Well, it was very interesting because they didn't ask me to write it.
Nobody would mess with you at this point.
No, honey, nobody messes with me now.
I would think so. I would think they wouldn't even try
I had the best time. There was one point where one of our actors was asked to take his clothes off, and he said no. And then somebody asked one of the actresses if she would, and she sort of went, well, and I said to her, just learn to say no. Learn very early on in your career to say no.
When you were, you know, the boss, really, the lady boss there, that people listened to you more easily than they would men, or
well, was it? Very interesting because I had a wonderful co-producer, Susan Bearwald, who just did Blind Faith, and she's a very strong woman, terrific lady. So it was the two of us. We were called the lady producers. So when we hit the set, boy, people listened. You know, they would be very nice to us, though. We had a wonderful crew, terrific actors, and a director called Buzz Kulick, who's used to working with women, an Emmy-winning director. So the whole atmosphere was really great. But since we finished filming, a lot of people have come up to Susan and me and said, you know, we really enjoyed this project so much because it was so nice having you two on the set all the time. Because we could come to you with our problems, you were always there for us, you were always supporting us. And I think women do that very well.
Well, don't you think that women do it, lady bosses, do it when they are very secure with themselves, because we have a lot of women in this audience who we've been talking to before who resent the idea, how dare they, of working for women.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Well, I've never heard that.
You've never heard that?
No.
Oh, it's really true. A lot of women do not. I mean, when I first hired the woman who's now my great assistant, personal assistant, she said, you know, she'd had problems working with women
But
before.
I can understand it. There's a few women in Hollywood that immediately come to mind that would be impossible to work for because they feel threatened by other women. And I think the only kind of woman you can work for is somebody who's very confident in themselves, like you, who is not threatened by other women. Oh, like me, yes. And that's something that you achieve in life, because you cannot be insecure. You know, you have to be your own best friend first. Right. And then you can deal with other people.
Oh, but a lot of women have it. We'll hear from some of them today, have problems working for women. You know, Jackie's known for her steamy, almost smutty sex scenes.
What? Smutty? You know, it's just because I'm a woman writing the kind of books traditionally associated with men, and I think I write very erotic sex. It's erotic as opposed to rude. And when you read Ladybug, you'll see that.
I think so, too. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I think you're right. Smutty is not a good term. Not a good term. What's her secret to writing about love and romance? Find out. Steamy, sizzling sex scenes. Not smutty. Back in a moment.
Great.